Good afternoon. Today we shall discuss about three important aspects of plant taxonomy, namely cytotaxonomy, numerical taxonomy, applications of computers in the field of taxonomy. Let me begin with cytotaxonomy. So, cytotaxonomy is a branch of taxonomy where we are using the chromosomal information in order to solve the taxonomical problems and thereby improving the plant classification. Well, the as we all know, chromosomes are the vehicles of heredity. The same chromosomes can be used for the solving of taxonomical problems, especially their number, structure, ploidy, types, size, and behavior of the chromosomes. Let us begin with the chromosome number. Chromosomes for a given species is constant. You take any species, the number of chromosomes is a constant among the individuals. For example, human being, 23 pairs or 46 chromosomes are usually present in all human beings, irrespective of race. The same condition will apply to plants as well. In general, the basic chromosome in most of the angiosperms is 7, but it is variable. Basic chromosomes means it denotes one set of chromosomes. Well, let us discuss. Generally, the wild plants are diploids. The cultivated and yeah, other plants are polyploids in nature. 15% of flowering plants are polyploids and 31% of ferns are polyploids. Very few angiosperms like Theobroma cacao and Cocos nucifera are haploids, sorry, monoploids. There is a difference between haploid and monoploid. Haploid is the gametic chromosome number. Monoploid is the number one set of chromosomes. One set of chromosomes of somatic cell. Let us discuss about the chromosome size and structure is also very important for taxonomy. And usually, the size of the chromosomes of plant cells is ranging from zero point 0.5 to 30 micrometers. Usually, the monocots are having larger chromosomes than that of dicots. Well, if you look at the onion root tip cells or anything, mitotic cells, generally four types of chromosomes are present in plants, namely metacentric chromosomes, submetacentric chromosome, telocentric chromosome, and ectocentric chromosome based on their position of centromere. Well, two important aspects are very much interesting or important in taxonomy, namely the karyotype and the ideogram. Karyotype is nothing but total number of chromosomes arrangement in the mitotic metaphasic plate or meiosis metaphasic plate, and that is known as karyotype. Well, there are two types of karyotypes: symmetric karyotype and asymmetric karyotype. Symmetric karyotype means generally all the chromosomes of the genome are maybe metacentric or submetacentric. Whereas in asymmetric karyotype, all the four types of chromosomes or three types of chromosomes are usually present in the genome, and that is known as asymmetric karyotype. Symmetric karyotype is evolutionarily a primitive type. Asymmetric type is advanced type. So these criteria is very much useful in order to understand the phylogenetic relationship among the plants. Well, this information, that is the number, size, chromatin distribution, heterochromatin and echromatin distribution, the type of chromosomes, the nature of the chromosomes, the length of the chromosomes, is going to be used as a tool to solve the taxonomical problems. First and foremost thing is Hutchinson. Hutchinson has solved two important genera, that is agave and yucca. Agave with both are monocots. Agave with the inferior ovary, yucca with the superior ovary were previously kept in Amaryldaceae and Liliaceae respectively. Based on the karyotype, similarity karyotype, both species are having 30 chromosomes. Out of 30, 5 long and 25 short chromosomes. So based on this, these two genera, although their ovary is either inferior or superior, are kept in the separate family, and that is known as Agaveaceae. Even cytological data proved to be useful in the taxonomy of the genus Chlorophytum, an ornamental plant belongs to Liliaceae. Three species are look alike, namely Chlorophytum bahuruche, Chlorophytum glaucum, and Chlorophytum glaucoma. Were very similar morphologically, and it is very difficult to identify them easily. So, in order to understand the solve the problem, the cytological studies reveal that Chlorophytum bahuruche is a diploid with 2n is equal to 16 chromosomes, and the other two species have tetraploid with 42 chromosomes. So, with this karyomalforological difference, we can able to differentiate Chlorophytum bahuruche, Chlorophytum glaucum, and Chlorophytum glaucoma. So similarly, even among the varieties also we can use the chromosomal data to solve the problems such as Monotropa hypophytes, which is having two varieties, belongs to the family Monotropiaceae, where Monotropa hypophytes variety hirsuta, Monotropa hypophytes variety glabra, both are these two were studied cytologically, and Monotropa hypophytes variety hirsuta is a hexaploid with 2n48, and Monotropa hypophytes variety glabra is a diploid with 2n16. So the hexaploid is retained as species Monotropa hypophytes, and the diploid one was raised to a new species level or species rank and renamed as Monotropa hypophagia. So this is how the chromosomal data can be used in order to solve the taxonomical problems right from order level to genus level to the order, genus, family, species, even subspecies or variety level by using the chromosomal data. So this is how cytotaxonomy is working. Now let us go to numerical taxonomy. So numerical taxonomy is a very recent term. A lot of work is going on about numerical taxonomy, and it is a branch of taxonomy which deals with the solving of taxonomical problems based on the data collected, and thereby the data is subjected to numerical, statistical, and computational methods in order to bring out the phenetic relationship among the taxa. Well, this idea was not a new one. It was an old one. The idea first came to a famous naturalist by name Adamson, Michael Adamson, and he during Linnaeus period, before Linnaeus, he indeed he has advised the people why you are taking only two or the few characters. You better you take as many as characters in order to classify the plants. So that is known as Adamsonian principle, unlike Aristotelian principle. So the this principle was taken by Sneath and Sokal in 1963, and laid down the coined the term numerical taxonomy and laid down the principles of numerical taxonomy. Well, this numerical taxonomy is also known as phonetics, taxometrics, taximetrics, mathematical taxonomy. Well, the basic unit or unit of numerical taxonomy is OTU, which means the operational taxonomic unit, which is equivalent to taxon of the classical taxonomy. Well, it may be what is it? It may be a group of individuals of a species. It may be a group of species of a genus, or it may be genera of a family. Well, these OTUs are expressed in the units of N and T, where T is the number of OTU under study, N is the number of characters or traits taken into account. Well, the data of here, we are going to take several characters into account. Those characters may be morphological, cytological, anatomical, embryological, from all parts of the taxa are taken into account. A minimum of 50 characters to be considered, and the optimum range from 60 to 100, and these should be both qualitative and quantitative characters. Whatever it may be, these characters should be converted binary into binary form, that is plus or minus or 1 and 0. So, seven principles are there in numerical taxonomy. These principles are the foundation for the numerical taxonomy. And the first principle is that the greater the content of information in the taxa of classification and the more characters it is based upon, the better a classification it will be. Every character is an equal weightage in creating natural taxa. Similarity between any two entities is a function of their individual similarity in each of the many characters for which they are compared. Distinct taxa can be recognized because of correlations differ in the groups of organisms under study. The phylogenetic inferences can be made from the taxonomical structure of a group and from character correlations give a certain assumptions about evolutionary pathways and mechanisms. Taxonomy is viewed and practiced as an empirical science. Classifications are based on phonetic similarity. Well, a little bit of procedure is there, how you are going to do, as already told you. Uh, the numerical taxonomy is the collection of the data of the taxa that is subjected to statistical methods, and finally the data is subjected to computational methods, and thereby whatever we will get, that information is going to be used to solve the problems of taxa, or to establish the relationship, phylogenetic relationship among the taxa. Well, the first and foremost thing is in the procedure, we have to choose plants. Plants are individuals of a same species or a genus or a different genera or a family. So that is how we are going to take individuals, and minimum 50 characters of those plants should be taken. So as this table denotes, so 15 taxa we have taken, that is individuals we have taken, and here it's about 10, 10 to 11 here we have taken. This is only a model how to take the tabulation, and here habit, fruit, ovary position, leaves, nature, everything we have taken, and one is present, zero woody character, herbaceous. For example, habit, if you look at, it is herbaceous. So this is how, whatever the plants among the 15 individuals, if it is woody, we are going to give 0. If it is herbaceous, we are going to give 1. So that is how we are going to collect the data. Suppose NC means not correlated. So it is NC means not correlated. 1 is one for first character, 0 is first character, 1 is second character, but NC is not correlating. So that is how we are going to observe all the individuals taken into account by observing their habit, habitat, uh, root, root, shoot, stem, leaf, nature of the leaf, type of the leaves, arrangement of the leaves, and everything likewise, morphological characters, anatomical characters, cytological characters, embryological characters, biochemical characters, all these are taken into in the form of this tabulation. This is called a data matrix table, and this is further subjected to what you call similarity index in order to get a similarity coefficient. And here we are using so many statistical correlation, what you call principles, such as Jacob's coefficient, Kulejensky coefficient, Sorensen coefficient, in order to get out to obtain the similarity coefficient is the measure of association of states of two specimens or taxa. So here we have taken five OTUs, and thereby you are comparing the similarity matrix among the OTUs, how much they are. So if you look at all this, so E is highly correlative with 100%. So that is how we are going to construct what you call a similarity matrix. Now, this data is further subjected to what you call softwares of the computers by computational methods, and thereby we are going to get what you call cluster analysis. So this cluster analysis results in the formation of this type of line diagrams, what you call cladograms or phenograms. So these are revealing the similarity among the taxa. This is the what you call phenogram, belongs to the what you call a tree of numerical attributes, whereas phylogram or cladogram is known as phylogenetic tree, which is indicating the relationship, phylogenetic relationship among the taxa of A to what you call F. All these how they are closely related or distantly related. So this is how the similarity among these taxa will be studied, and this is what you call cluster analysis. Now let us move on to the application of computers in taxonomy. Well, computer-based softwares has having very importance in the field of biosystematics or taxonomy. So nowadays, we are using as a storage of information, as a database, bases, networks, and we are also having using applying some keys. We are storage preserving the data of plant-based information. So among those, the first thing is preparation and presentation of databases pertaining to floras, monographs, and revision work. For example, Delta is the floristic data of Australian grasses. NAPRA-led database is available, and it is related to medicinal plants, their distribution, their type, their botanical name, their status, their medicinal importance, everything we are going to go through by going through the NAPRA-led database. Well, computers also useful in the storage of information about economically important species, like what you call databases like ILDLDS is a database for leguminous plants, which are very, very important for man and his livestock. Well, even digital herbaria. Previously, we used to see the herbaria, physical herbaria, where we are taking a paper, a dried plant specimen is going to be used. By that methods, we used to uh, spoil so much of vegetation, and also rare species will not be sometimes under threatened status. So to avoid that, we and also at the same time to access different types of plants online, we are using digital libraries, library or herbaria above it's university level, institutes level, as well as international level, like Q herbarium, digital herbaria, herbaria is very much useful and accessible to everyone across the globe is because of digital herbarium. And there are plant identification keys are also available in the internet, like Lucid, Indicate, Mecca. Mecca is the online key of to the South Indian dicot families developed by Professor C. Kameswar Rao, Bangalore University. Well, the computer is also very much useful, especially in cladistics, cluster analysis, as just now discussed in case of numerical taxonomy. So it aims at unraveling the origin and evolution of taxa, that is known as cladistics, by using computer software like cladogram, where cladogram means branch trees of phylogeny of a given taxa can be developed. A very famous software is PAUP, POP, phylogenetic analysis using parsimony is the most popular software in order to study or construct or develop cladistics among the taxa. So this is about still there much more is there about applications of computers. So with this, so I will end up my session. Thank you. One and all.